Sophie Cunningham goes in the post-game press conference and confirms what we've all known all along. This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands going on in this locker room. It turns out that Christy Sides and all of those toilet paper mummy activities, all those scavenger hunt activities, the wiffle ball coming back from the Olympic break, it turned out that those stupid games actually played a big part, along with Erica Wheeler's veteran leadership, keeping this locker room, keeping this team together.
Did Sophie Cunningham just spill the entire fever tea? The locker room's apparently split like a bad wig in the front office, is out here playing hide and seek with accountability, who's beefing, who's fake, smiling. And why does it feel like a reality show film at halftime? Grab your popcorn, because this drama's got more twists than a soap opera. In overtime, Sophie lit the match, and now the whole building's smoky. Let's dive in before someone deletes their socials.
What is going on with the Indiana Fever? Is tensions mounting? Did Sophie Cunningham just expose the truth that's going on with the Indiana Fever? Is there some turmoil brewing? Is there issues in the locker room?
And we talk about this. We are circled on everybody's schedule. Everyone, no one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but as one of the leaders on the team, I got to do a better job of grouping people, right?
And yet, here we are. Caitlin Clark, the living embodiment of everything the WNBA says it values, continues to show up, still dropping buckets, still carrying herself with grace amid what's starting to look like a league-approved initiation ritual. She's got the humility of a saint, the drive of a machine, and the kind of poise that suggests her media training came straight from the heavens. Somehow, through the noise, she keeps her head high, because clearly the spotlight isn't just on her game. It's on her resilience.
Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands within the locker room. Everybody's on their own little island. We're going to get back to that real quick. Listen to what Stephanie White said in the offseason. One of her thousands of interviews that I called out. Stop doing interviews. I want some wins. One of her 1,000 million interviews during her press run in the offseason.
And somehow, she's the one catching heat like she's a problem. Make it make sense. The numbers don't lie, and the obsession isn't some fleeting internet glitch. It's because Caitlin Clark is that rare, generational talent whose charisma doesn't demand attention. It earns it. She doesn't show up acting like a diva. She shows up quietly raising the bar, all while smiling, signing autographs, and reminding everyone what excellence with humility really looks like.
Really interesting comments from Sophie Cunningham. And yes, you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit, but I also think it is a pretty clear admission, just without detail, of what has been going on with the Indiana Fever this season. And it is not good at all. It makes it really, really difficult for teams to put together winning performances when you have all of this going on. And no, I'm not even talking about the distraction of Caitlin Clark and her injury and other things, although that plays a part as well. But she also does make a comment that I think is important in terms of who the Indiana Fever are as a team and how that makes things more difficult as well. So I want to take a listen.
People gravitate toward her because she radiates authenticity and warmth. The kind of effortless charm that feels homegrown, like it came straight from a Midwestern kitchen and was baked into a casserole of kindness. She's not just talented, she's good, in the rare moral sense of the word. In today's sports world, that kind of decency feels almost mythical. A standout not just for her stats, but for her spirit.
I'm not sure Sophie meant for it to come out like that. But it's something I have suspected for a while, maybe about 4 weeks now. It's something that Jason Whitlock jumped face first, head first into the deep end the other day on, that the locker room with the Fever, and just to keep it real, I agree with him on this. I think there are some preferences in the locker room where these young ladies differ in how they handle or how their preferences in their personal lives, and the locker room is divided.
Let's talk about what unfolded behind the scenes, or more accurately, in the Fever locker room, where harmony is rarer than a technical foul on the ones roughing up their franchise star. The front office, meanwhile, is busy rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship while their generational talent gets elbowed, hacked, and slowly exiled by our own teammates. Forget chemistry. They're not mixing elements. They're igniting tension. It's less team building and more like a dysfunctional reality show. Call it Flip This Roster. What's brewing isn't a harmless clash of personalities. It's an all-out Cold War dress in jerseys. Half the roster looks like they'd rather hit the bench than pass the ball, while the rest are tangled in their own drama like a Survivor. WNBA edition that, let's drop the euphemisms. The system is a disaster. This isn't growth, it's chaos. It's like handing Einstein a crayon and expecting preschool art. Caitlin Clark's transcendent court vision is being squandered on teammates who'd rather launch bricks than acknowledge her existence. The strategy, if you can call it that, seems to be ignore your star, force bad shots, and pray Clark has enough grace to make sense of it all at the podium.
Been watching that Sophie Cunningham thing on repeat, man. That clip where she grabbed the girl and threw her down, so foul. It's a hard basketball foul, probably over the top. Of course it is, but why would it not be given the circumstances? But once she did the clinch, man, MMA fans, UFC, grappling, Muay Thai, we all know. Once you seen that clinch, it was like, okay, she just ain't no regular fucking person. She knows something. She got some skills, and I guess she has like a black belt in Taekwondo or some shit like that, which is wild. And apparently she was the kicker on a high school football team.
She doesn't need to flip tables or post cryptic tweets. All she needs is a page out of Magic Johnson's real playbook. Not the charming grin, but the it's him or me ultimatum. Because let's be honest, that's where things are. The time for subtle signals and quiet patience is over. The league is dining out on her stardom. The front office is cashing in on the spotlight, and yet she's expected to keep smiling while her own teammates treat her like she cut the buffet line. Every superstar eventually reaches that crossroads. Carry a broken system on your back or smash it to rebuild something better. And the wildest part? The composure she maintains. Most players in her shoes would have already gone full scorched earth, filed complaints, dropped cryptic Instagram posts, maybe even hinted a betrayal on a moody podcast. But Caitlin? She just keeps suiting up, head down, absorbing contact like a prize fighter who accidentally walked into the wrong sport. Her grace under fire isn't just admirable, it's superhuman. Frankly, she deserves an award for navigating the circus with her dignity intact and still showing up for post-game interviews like she isn't carrying a franchise on her shoulders.
What's interesting is everybody hates them for multiple reasons, but the one I want to talk about when she said about circled on the schedule that I think is important, because it's easy to look from the outside and be like, well, that shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter, but it does. And what I mean is we're all human, and not everybody's athletes don't. They should. They get paid to. It's a job. It's a blessing.
And let's not forget the fans. The ones shelling out for overpriced tickets, rocking her jersey, dragging along skeptical boyfriends, and turning the Clark effect into a full-scale economic engine. They're not just here for layups and stat lines. They're here because she embodies something rare. Excellence wrapped in humility. Fame without arrogance. Greatness without the diva act. She makes people believe in the purity of the game again, as if it's still about heart, not just headlines. But here's the gut punch. While she revitalizes the league from the outside, inside the system, she's being failed. The very institution profiting from her spotlight seems too timid to defend her. And please, spare us that she's just a rookie excuse. At some point, the training wheels rhetoric wears thin, and you admit what's clear. She's not just another first-year player. She's the face of the league, the golden goose. And right now, the goose is being slow roasted. She doesn't need empty slogans or half-hearted, you got this girl encouragement. She needs infrastructure. She needs strategy. She needs a coaching philosophy that doesn't fumble her strengths. Teammates who play to win, not sabotage. and a front office that remembers its job isn't just balancing budgets, but building synergy. Because if the lead doesn't step up soon, they won't just lose games. They'll lose the very magic that brought fans back in the first place.
About taking accountability. Now, I can't say that last play with the 5-point swing. I think more so of she shouldn't have been in front of Stevens, man. She is too big. She is too big. Yeah, I get it, box out, but it was better to have Boston in her spot. Now, I did hear Stephanie White take accountability on that one. She was like, yeah, it's probably on me. I should have switched them too, made sure we had the big right there, but, you know, it just slipped her. But, yeah, I think in that instance, it should have been Boston right there. It's big on her to take the accountability, but, yeah, Boston should have been there. She could take fault in it too, because it's also like you have to recognize what's going on, right?